Brian Boney, right?
Yep. Yeah, you got it right.
Is that your real name, or did you change your name to sound more awesome?
Well, that actually is my given name.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I've gotten nicknames, and like I had nicknames in high school, but it was seniors when I was going into high school because they always wanted to ask me like, dude, is it okay if I call you Boner? And it's like,
No.
it's like, no, because I mean, it was seniors, so I mean, they wanted to talk to me, so it's like, all right, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not calling you Boner.
It is what it is. I mean, it's definitely not the worst name that I've heard. So I had a professor in college. His last name was Cock, and his first name was Richard.
That's no good.
And it's like, dear God, did you hate your child?
Man, fuck them. All right, so
It hasn't really bothered me. I mean, I've just kind of embraced it. But I mean, you definitely got to like think about what you name your kids.
Yeah. First my questions, then these assholes. All right.
Okay.
How did you get into e-skate?
Well, I started out as basically longboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Did that for a couple of years, and then I just happened to see like I had seen on like Mirror Skate and stuff like that, like the boosted boards, and then just happened to look it up and just like like one time it came up on my Instructables because I get like a little email from it every week or so, and one just happened to be DIY electric skateboard, and I just was like, it's kind of cool, and always saw them on Kickstarter. I mean, because there's hundreds of the Chinese companies that are just throwing them out there on Kickstarter.
Right.
And then I found it on the builders forum, and then just kind of went from there. I think I first went on the builders forum in 2017 in June, and then really didn't get like looked it up, did some research, and was like, oh shit, if I actually do something wrong when I'm configuring the speed controller, I am blowing the damn thing up. So then that kind of like put me off. So it's like, and then like then I did some like regular boards, and then one of the guys that I worked with at the time was like, "No, you should totally do it because it's like it can't be that hard. There's so many other people that are doing it. It can't be that hard." So I was like, "Yeah." Then I basically November, maybe September of 2017, back on it, and it's just kind of gone from there. I still
Keep
only
in mind, though, I mean, blowing up speed controllers is necessary.
It is kind of a rite of passage, but I have. Should I even say? Because I don't want to say it and then jinx my board.
Don't tell me you've never blown up a speed controller. Are you real?
Yeah, here, I'm gonna knock.
I'm reaching out here to touch you to make sure you're a real person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where I did enough research beforehand, and because I only have the one board,
right?
So, but I mean, it does what I want it to do, and I don't need to go terribly fast. Which, I mean, after my one accident that I had, that's kind of like threw it off, and that's kind of like where I was like, no, I don't need to go that fast anymore. But I've actually put in the money for FOC boxes, so I was like, okay, this is probably the best one that is around.
Right.
So I was like, everything that I've read has good reviews, and read like how to do like the configurations and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And read up on basically everybody's builds, and saw that the FOC box was kind of the one that everybody went to if they wanted to have a performance board or a board that would be reliable. So
that's true. It does both rather well.
Yeah, I mean, I bought these actually the 2017 Black Friday.
Oh yeah.
When it came, when if you got the order in the first couple of minutes, you were guaranteed it to be there by like January, and then anytime after that, it was basically March, May, and so on.
Yeah, because they had some kind of pre-made.
Yeah, so I got mine, I think, late January, maybe early February. So I couldn't complain, but then I had seen where people were waiting like 6 months for it, and it's like, dear God.
Yeah, it was retarded.
But,
meanwhile, we were blowing up 412s while we were. So you do something really interesting with your own boards. You do wood burning.
Yeah.
What kind of designs and stuff do you do?
Oh, I tried when I'm actually doing it as just a regular board, like that one that I'm going to sell at like one of the shows that I do, because we got a lot of like local like kind of craft fair shows. But
yeah, we have a lot of those here too.
But like, I mean, in the place in Asbury, we got this one. It's every single Sunday, and it's actually got a really good turnout.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done that one twice, and usually I try and do stuff that will kind of be appealing to like the masses, just to kind of get it so a little bit bigger and wider of an audience. So that way, more people are going to most likely buy it, or at least say that it's cool. Because I mean,
I love those fairs because we go there and I end up with like $150 worth of bracelets and necklaces and like crazy craft honey.
Yeah, there's always some sort of jewelry. My stuff that I've always tried to do, I've always tried to keep it as because I've always loved tattoos. So I've always tried to keep it with a kind of like basically like the flash art that you would see like if you walk into a tattoo shop. You might see some of that stuff on like the walls, or just some generalized like tattoo like designs that I'll do. Just because it's something that I've always liked, and it's kind of basically doing the same thing, but it's putting it on wood. It's a lot easier to do that than tattooing because the wood's not going to fight you.
So yeah, I want to see your stuff. Like, show us some of the decks you've done.
Yeah, this one I've actually got. This is the koi fish.
Wow.
I'm doing that one currently. This is the esk8.news exclusive one that I haven't posted yet.
That is beautiful.
So yeah, that's here. I'll get it close to the thing. So that's like the different colors. That's just wood burned here, then watercolored.
Watercolor.
Yeah.
How well does watercolor take on maple? It works. I guess
it's actually pretty good because it soaks into it like a little bit, but like since it's watercolor, you don't need to have like your brush sopping wet.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be soaked. It's just got to be enough to wet the paint. And I let the paint set up for probably like overnight. That way it gets hard, and then it's a little bit easier to work with, and it's not as gummy. But that's what a lot of mine have done. I've did a turtle one, jellyfish. I redid this one. This is an old Alva dagger tail.
Wow.
I actually found this on the beach. And I just redid it and just tried to cover up some of like the crappy spots. And then it just hasn't been clear coated at all. And then painted
off. That's like a restoration.
Yeah. I didn't do the board. It's just that it looked like crap before. And then I was like, you know what? This has just been sitting here for 2 years. And then decided to do it. This one is actually kind of like the one that I do most of my pushing. Like, this is my go-to push board.
That's awesome.
And then it's got the
wow.
And then like the acai tree. And these actually have Fat Dean wheels. I don't know if you have heard of the Fat Dean wheels. this was actually my first one that I did. So this was a blank that I got from actually Funbox. And it's bamboo. But this was the first one that I did. It's not wood burned, but it's got the Banksy flower thrower.
Yeah.
Banksy name there. And then the little teddy bear from the Wild West or something like that. That Banksy did. It's actually rice paper.
Oh, rice paper.
Yeah.
So you laser jet or inkjet?
It's inkjet. So I went out, bought a specific type of printer to do it. It's real bitch. I do not suggest it to anybody unless you really want to have the hassle, because it always ends up when you wet it out, it ends up tearing because it's so thin. Yeah, because I've seen because you can do it with polyurethane or spar urethane.
Yeah, I use Minwax polyurethane.
That's what I do too. And then I use Minwax spar on most of my boards now. Just
water-based or oil-based?
Water-based.
Yes.
Water-based.
Yes.
But on the rice paper, I use polyacrylic because it really wets it out a lot better.
That's more of a tough plastic finish too, right?
Yeah. This board, it's had giant rocks kicked up into it and gone over some stuff, and there's no scratches on it.
Does polyacrylic crack with age?
I haven't seen anything. I don't see any cracks on it. But there's probably a good, since it was my first custom board that I did for myself, there's probably a good 5 to 6 coats at least, and they're super.
It looks like glass. Every time you hold it up, the light runs down it. It's just beautiful. I can see it's got a flawless finish on it.
Yeah, it's a super thick coat. That one I did. That was my first one, and then I got one other one.
Yeah, let's see it.
I did.
I'm totally nerding out on this because one of my favorite things about building customs is the artwork, the finish and the paint.
Have you heard of the tattoo style trash polka?
Yeah.
So this was kind of my take on it, where it's just a bunch of obviously there's that big normal paint stripe thing that they have.
Right.
And this is New Jersey. This is this little face that's actually this kind of local mascot thing for Asbury Park. Yeah, I got just one wooden piece that I'm going to be working on. Just kind of hard to see, but it's.
Oh, nice.
I'll show you
You got some geometrics going on.
Yeah, this is what it's going to look like.
Oh, nice.
So
I like the half and half look.
Yeah, it's the half deer type look. I've done a couple of them. This is pretty much what I sell at my shows and stuff that I do. There's this guy.
Nice.
This little bear. And then this crab. Because beach town,
cool.
you gotta have the crabs.
Yeah. Everybody has the crabs.
Yeah. The coolest thing is this little brand that I got.
Yeah.
I had that custom made for me. So that's when you know that you're kind of really cool, but when you got an actual brand. Because then
that's like one solid piece you just heat up and burn it in.
It's actually electric.
Ah.
Yeah, this is.
Wow, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, so it gets really, really hot, and it's actually burnt little divots where I've put it.
I love your work. That is amazing.
Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it. It's fun to do. It keeps me out of trouble and gets me something to do.
You get in a lot of trouble?
I try not to.
All right, so we're going to start with the forum questions now.
Okay.
So load up on beer because these guys, well, actually, these questions are actually somewhat relevant.
Good. So it's not like, why is he left me for somebody else and everything like that?
Yeah, it's not quite so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't need all of the drugs before we started. So what came first as a hobby, skateboards or wood burning? Skunk wants to.
Definitely skateboards, because I had a skateboard when I was little and just never really lived on a street that was safe to drive or ride on, because it was basically a major country highway where pretty much anybody that was getting anywhere was going 50 miles an hour down the highway. Right. But then when I moved to New Jersey, we live in a beach town currently, and to get around in the summer times, because it's super busy, like it's crazy busy on the weekends, that I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to drive to the place and lose my parking spot. I'll just skateboard. So bought a longboard from Zoomies and used that for a little bit, and then started making my own.
That's a similar story to, I think, a lot of people who get sucked into something creative like that, and they go buy something interesting, and then they want to do a little something more with it, and then it just the creativity kind of just pulls you along into its own world.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's what happened to me.
I always wanted to have something that nobody else had. Like I understand people like to have the certain types of boards and stuff like that, but right. I'd rather have something that's not mass produced. I've done a few boards a couple of times, like a few designs like a handful of times, but I try to at least do them. I try to limit the amount of times that I do it, just because I don't want it to be mass produced. Right. Like most of the designs that I've done have been one-offs, and that's pretty much what I do for. Like I only have a few boards that I take to shows, and then the rest are just one-off boards that people want.
Yelnats8J, however you say that, wants to know, how the hell do you have patience for wood burning?
Good question, because if you would ask my wife, she'd probably say that I have zero patience.
Same.
But no, it's just something that like I just go and draw it, like draw it on or trace it on, depending on what I end up using, and then I just like to kind of listen to music while I burn it on there. I mean, sometimes, and there's been times that it's taken a good amount of time to like actually get the thing burnt on and everything, and it's not too bad. I mean, I can usually do most of the stuff in probably an hour or two.
It's kind of zen, right? You just kind of get into it.
You get that flow, and you're kind of just in there, and it's like, yeah, this is turning out to be really, really nice.
So Myconopoulos wants to know, let's be honest, you damn arsonists, which forest fire was your doing?
None of them. I have to say that none of them were. Although New Jersey did just have a big, forest fire not that long ago. So
no, that wasn't you.
But no, that one wasn't me, because that wasn't even close to here.
Windfly is telling me, can I trim down the videos? I like these interviews, but I ain't got enough data to watch 1 to 2 hour long videos.
Wi-Fi that shit, man. Go to Starbucks. There's hundreds of other people that just sit in Starbucks all day.
Yeah. What's the most complex design you had to do for a deck? Be it a frit or wood burn design or both, and how long did the process take? Lenny wants to know that.
Well, frit, I pretty much just use clear frit.
Frit, by the way, for people that don't know what that is, that's basically ground up glass.
Yep.
It's what we use. Right. Yep.
No, this is not cocaine.
It comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of like different translucence levels, and
Mm-hmm.
We use it for grip. We either lock it in with epoxy or polyurethane. I use polyurethane.
I use spar urethane. It's a lot quicker, and I can do 2 or 3 coats in the matter of time that it would take to do epoxy for one.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I got a fine grit here, and then this is kind of a mixture of fine and medium.
Mm-hmm.
But I only do clear just because the artwork that I'm doing, especially if it since it's on my e-skate deck.
Right.
Should I show that one since everybody's seen it?
I'd like to see it.
Okay. But yeah, this is it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it got.
I'm a fan of some Joker ha-has too, because I did a Joker board not too long ago. That is great.
That's great stuff. That's actually what inspired me to do this one, because I saw yours and I was like, that is really killer, and I want to do a Joker board as well. Because let's be honest, Joker's really the only good DC character.
I mean, yeah, totally. I'm all about Joker boards.
Joker's the best DC character. Marvel has all the better characters. I don't know why. But yeah, that was that's my e-skate deck. But I mean, if you're going to put designs on the top of them, it really makes no sense to use colored frit, because
unless it's part of the artwork, yeah, makes sense.
And I probably could have thrown in some green on the Joker deck to really throw it off, and really make it nice,
like in the hair area. Yeah.
But I mean, I did, and it's got right now. It's got the Otang Kegel purple wheels,
right?
Because it's the Joker, and he's got a purple suit, so it's got to have the purple wheels.
I mean, I don't understand how you could use anything else, honestly.
Yeah, I do have the Olin wheels, but
yeah. I mean, the only other wheel that would make sense on there really is that giant green torque board wheel Lunacy has, or Lunacy on the forums.
Yes, and shit, who is it?
B264, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the serious bright torque board wheels on there. Yeah, that's good stuff. Those are good.
But to answer the question, at least for the most, the biggest or most intricate wood burning, this one.
Ooh. That one on a deck, that must have been gorgeous.
Yeah, it looked really nice. A real bitch to burn. It took 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice when it came out, but it took a long time. And that was from putting the stencil on to basically saying, I'm done. I like how this looks. I'm done.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I had probably a couple more days of just doing the clear coats and doing that one only had stripes on the top, like the classic pinstripes on the top, because I put that on the bottom. I wasn't doing anything crazy on the top.
What type of wood was it? Was it just the nice nude colored maple, or did you stain it, or what did you do?
It was I try to leave all the bottoms basically just the plain maple, and then the tops I have a couple of different stains, the color is Kona, but it kind of, depending on how dark or how many times you go over it, it can be basically a black, or it can be a really kind of worn brown look.
Yeah.
A black cherry. I have a couple. I think an oak color, and then I have a bunch of spray paints.
Have you ever done wood burning on dyed veneer?
No, because I don't 100% know if it would be okay enough to do it, just because.
From a safety, chemical inhalation perspective?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, who knows what that pigment's going to do? I mean,
because I feel like if it's a natural pigment, It's probably okay. I mean, and I could probably do it if I had a respirator, which I mean, I do have one, but it's a pain in the ass to use while you're wood burning.
Yeah.
I don't like to use a mask or anything because then it just gets hot.
Cinder wants to know, how the hell can you actually suffer through a damn baseball game, but not just that, be an avid fan? Now I can relate. I'm a sports ball fan myself. I love sports ball team.
I mean, it's just like any other sport. I mean, yeah, there's no contact, but it's really the only sport that, unless you're talking about like tennis, which how many people actually play tennis and watch tennis? It's basically one person going against one other person. It's like a Wild West shootout. I'm a super huge Red Sox fan. I actually have the Red Sox like Boston B. Like I have that tattooed on my back.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
believe it.
I'm a diehard.
There are a few people more fiercely loyal than sports fans.
Yes.
I didn't catch it earlier. I'm not into sports really at all. Well, I guess e-skating's a sport.
Yeah, it's a sport. It's just not. I mean, I guess if you wanted to,
I'm not really into sports ball. Yeah, I think it's just sports ball that I'm not really into. All of the sports ball. Have you ever gotten bored and tried your wood burning techniques on human skin? It's me, Dan T wants to know that.
Nope, because if I did that, I mean, it'd basically be a brand, and doing that against somebody's will, they might look down on that. Like society might look down on that.
Just to be clear, there's not going to be any like human skin boards anytime soon.
I'm not a serial killer, and I'm not Ed Gein. So no.
Well, I'm very disappointed that you're not a serial killer. I was really hoping to spice this interview up a little.
Sorry, I'm sorry that I'm so boring. I'm gonna go now. See ya.
Bye.